trafficking of something worth more than gold, cocaine, even diamonds.
Poachers have massacred 4 rhinos at a private game reserve.
Critically endangered rhino.
Poachers are killing 3 a day.
168 rhinos were killed in South Africa last year.
Rhinos are being killed because of their horn. I did 4 years in the Army. I joined when I was 18. I deployed to Iraq in 2006. I was there for a year, so September 06 to September 07. I joined Vetpaw because I thought it was a job that really made a big difference. I'm passionate about animals and kind of welfare of animals, but then having an impact on an animal like a rhino, something that is endangered. So you have the white rhino, they're endangered. You have black rhino, they're critically endangered. For me to wake up and go do my job and knowing that I'm having an impact on black rhino, I mean, that's an easy reason to wake up every day and go out and do your job. Finishing up, checking on the rhinos, start making my way back that way soon.
Roger, solid copy.
So when we're looking for the white rhinos, just from being here, we know what areas they are in the majority of the time. The white rhinos, they like the open areas, they like, they're grazers, so they like the open plain areas. That's kind of where we start when we're looking for the white rhinos each day. We can track them by, their spoor, so their tracks along the roads. You can see how fresh it is. And even like their dung, their poo. So when you come up on really fresh rhino dung, you're, fairly close to the rhinos.
Yeah, like the exciting thing about rhinos is like they're dinosaurs. Like if you come out and see them in person, like you are literally looking at a dinosaur. I mean, they've been around for thousands and thousands of years. Like growing up as a kid, I never thought I'd see a rhinoceros. Like, besides a zoo, like you can go to the zoo and see these animals, but seeing them like in their natural habitat, I mean, it's incredible. Rhino poaching is organized crimes. It's funding more than just, the rhino poaching itself. These organizations are involved in other crimes as well. They're not just poachers.
They are very closely affiliated to terrorist or organized crime syndicates. Really, a lot of these guys who are involved in high-level rhino or elephant poaching, they also have a hand in human trafficking, selling illegal gold or gemstones. They sell human body parts for muti magic.
So big gangs in South Africa, their job is to really poach rhinos and traffic those rhino horns to Asia. Traditional Chinese medicine believes that rhino horn has a medicinal value. They just think it can cure certain things. And then it's also like a big symbol, like a status symbol. Like if you have rhino horn, you're kind of a elite. Like it's very expensive. It goes for about 60,000 US dollars per kg. The organized guys, they're coming in high-powered rifle, usually an assault rifle. So if they do come into conflict with anti-poaching units, they're shooting these animals and then they're I mean, they're chopping into their face with the machete. And it's not all, the rhino's not always dead. Like sometimes they're injured where they can't move. I mean, that's just how they do it, to remove the horn. If there's not an anti-poaching effort, and there's not organizations like Vetpaw that are coming to, do this kind of work, rhinos will eventually go extinct. Unfortunately, we've created a situation where we have to protect these animals. The veterans like myself and the other guys on the team, we've had training, like I was in the Army, a lot of other guys are Army, Marines. All of us have been in bad situations. So the majority of us have deployed to either Iraq or Afghanistan. So it's not a job that, we're really scared of, I would say. And then when it comes to almost like training local guys, so all the reserves have, locals that work on them. And these guys, I mean, they're amazing when it comes to, they know the bush so well when it comes to tracking people, tracking animals, stuff like that. But they're not always the best when it comes to like military tactics and some aspects of security. So that's where guys that have served in the military can kind of give them that knowledge and kind of work together to protect the rhinos in a better way.
Cool. So we're just putting this trail cam up. We use these trail cams for the black rhinos on the property. This one's just in a good spot. This area of the property, we get a lot of black rhino. One of the big males hangs out up in this area quite a bit. So if he does walk by, camera flips on, takes a 20-second video, and it usually lets us ID what rhino it is. Although black rhinos are ear-notched, black rhinos are so solitary, spend so much time in the bush, travel around a lot at night. So that's kind of why we have to use these trail cams to get positive ID on them each month. So I saw a black rhino across the valley, and then there was the little baby black rhino coming behind it. So then I just kind of came over here, figured I just had to find a spot, like a game trail, and then we finally got her. A couple days later, got the baby on camera. It was the second black rhino born on the property, so pretty exciting. All the black rhino on the property, they came here through WWF. All this information goes to the manager on the reserve, and this all gets put into a report, and that stuff goes to WWF for them to kind of keep track of and document and, keep their research going on all the black rhino.
The link we have with the local population is we try to support them and kind of educate them, and then they're going to in turn kind of help us out.
Vetpaw does a lot of work with the community, and doing work with the community is very important, especially with the younger generations, as they're the generations who are going to continue looking after the wildlife that we have in South Africa.
It is helpful because some of the parents, they don't have the money to take the children to the zoo to see these animals. Now they can see and understand what is this animal, what this animal eats, how big it is when they see in the picture.
You've got this one little child teaching their parents that there are these animals out there and that we need to look after them. And that has a huge impact. When you have a child teaching an adult about wildlife, it's quite something.
We don't have this money to take the children out to see these different animals. That is why I said it is very, very helpful.
Night patrols, we maintain a presence on the property. Driving around the property with lights on, it's always going to let people know that, this property is being patrolled at all times. So we have guys that are out all the time, kind of, with their trucks shining lights. And then we also have guys that, you'll go out at night and you'll shut all your lights off. So it's also important to do that as well. You go out where you can, observe kind of the whole property. So if there is any movement, that's when you're going to see it.
The evidence is clear that if we do nothing to save these species, then inevitably the whole thing will collapse.
Elephants and rhinos and all these big endangered animals are symbols for entire ecosystems. If we can't protect one of these animals, an elephant, a rhino, how are we going to try to get people on board to protect the smaller animals?
The future of endangered species or even habitats depends entirely on education.
Education is a big thing when it comes to ending poaching. Like getting the message out there that rhino horn is just keratin. You know, you gotta tackle it from all angles.
There is no magic that you're not going to cure your cancer by ingesting products like this.
Vetpaw's goal, in the future is just to kind of expand and be able to help more rhinos than they are currently. I think that's kind of the main goal. The more funding Vetpaw gets, the more they can expand. What we're doing here on this reserve, we can, go to other reserves that have big populations of rhinos and help them as well. I'm willing to risk my life to protect the rhinos. And the reason is because, it's just such an important mission. I mean, we're the ones that did this to these animals. We've taken away their habitat. Humans are the ones that are poaching them. So I just feel like it's just a really good cause, and it's incredible. My message to everyone that's out there that's watching this, if you care about these rhinos and these wild places, the biggest thing you can do is really come visit. Come visit and see it for yourself. Sometimes these trips are expensive, but that money is going back into conservation.
If you can, come out and experience what these animals have to offer and experience and learn about the entire ecosystem that these elephants and rhinos symbolize.
It's going to make a big impact on you, and in turn make a big impact on the rhino species in general.